Alright, Drew. We are ready.
Love this job.
What's up, guys? It's Drew, aka Ace of Octagons, here again to talk about more shows from years ago. Let's go ahead and get some addendums done from the last tier list. We're adding a I don't know you, let go of my purse category for shows that I did not watch and were not aware of whatsoever. From popular opinion, Super Friends got off way too easy. So we've added in the F tier just for them now. Get in here. I'm going to be rating these shows based on what I liked as a kid, how watchable they were right then, and also just how good I think they are now, since my palate is refined and I'm now a huge connoisseur of anime and TV shows from way back in the day and now. Alright, so let's get started. Blue Submarine number 6. The premise is that there was a scientist at some point who experiments on sea life, and at some point the sea life comes to fight against the humans because they tried to eradicate them or use them as a weapon, something along that nature. At any rate, there is one or two people who can save the day, and so then they have to take the blue submarine number 6 and deal with it. So this show was something that felt like I was always missing the action when I was a kid. Like I had seen like probably 3 out of the 6 episodes. This is a really short anime that you can like burn through like really easily. And so then I was like, oh, I must have missed the action parts, because you watch it and it's like, oh, this is slow. They're explaining stuff. Okay, there's one scene of action in here, you know, of like submarine battles and stuff like that. The Navy needs some representation in anime and everything else. We need a new Navy anime. And so then I watched this years later, probably when I was 17, so you know, around like 2011, something like that. And it turns out, no, it's just boring. It does have jazz themes, and I really enjoyed that. I will give anything with jazz themes like an extra tier. So for being super boring, it'd be F, but has some good themes in there. So it's D. Batman Beyond. Ooh, Batman Beyond. Super good. 50 years in the future after Batman, Bruce Wayne has been fighting crime for all these years, and he just can't do it anymore. His heart can't take it. There's some point where he uses a gun, and he's like, hey, I broke my rule. Well, time to stop. New kid in town, Terry McGinnis. He goes, takes the bat suit, and fights crime in his stead, in Bruce's stead, as the new Batman. So you have not as many recurring villains from the old one as you would think, but they're still in there. So it's a nice little blend of new and old. You do see some of the old villains from the old series coming back, and you see what happened to them and how screwed up they are and all kinds of stuff. This is peak kids TV. Like there's gonna be some stinkers later on. It just falls just short of S. But I remember like this was like cool. This was super cool back in the day for me. This was a series that even the showrunners didn't want to do, but they turned it into something really cool. Like it's really easy to mess up the future, the future kid version of something, but they pulled it off. Card Captors. I bet you're thinking he means Card Captor Sakura. No, because America said, no, we need to make this for young boys instead of girls. But even as a young boy, I still didn't feel like this show was for me. It felt like a Sailor Moon type deal, you know, because it was, and they tried to repurpose footage into a new thing, but didn't quite work out. So Sakura is a young girl in middle school, I think it was. Oh, I think she does like a Pandora's box type deal. That's right, where she lets out all the cards, and then the Guardian from there is like, hey, what'd you do? You did this. You need to go collect all the cards. She's like, yeah, okay, sure. And so then Magical Girl stuff ensues, and then I guess there's the dude too, but I don't remember like any other names except for Sakura because her name is in the original title. Although I think they changed the names to American stuff, so you know she's probably like Delilah. No, she's probably like Ashley or something, and he's like, you know, Jake, where his name is probably Ren or something like of that nature. It's probably a C. Yeah, I watched it. I watched it more when it first came out, and then fun tidbit. My grandmother looked at it once and was like, "This is satanic. Why would you watch such satanic things?" And then it was like, G.I. Joe, the real American hero. The intro tells you the story, so I should remember. Cobra is ISIS. They're trying to take over the world, I think, or maybe just commit vague terrorism. And G.I. Joe is military to stop them. They had the whole like, you know, PSA stuff at the end. Me as a kid, I watched Transformers because it was huge robots punching each other. The same production company that did G.I. Joe did the PSAs for Transformers. You know, you do a PSA and it was like, hey Timmy, drugs are cool, right? You know, Optimus Prime would come up, transform, slap the joint out of his hand and be like, no, drugs are not cool. And then they would be like, whoa, Optimus Prime. And he's like, drugs hurt your lungs and stuff, Jimmy. And they'd be like, now we know, and knowing's half the battle. The Transformers, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so then that would be the thing. And so I saw that first. And so then I went to school and I was like, and knowing's half the battle. The Transformers. And so then they'd be like, shut up, Drew. It's G.I. Joe. I'm like, no, but the Transformers have it too, I guess. And they're like, shut up, we don't care about that. Just for salty shit. Because I don't care about them anyway. G.I. Joe gets F. Gundam Wing. So this one, so you can do an elevator pitch on Gundam Wing, but it's a disservice. The pitch for Gundam is, oh yeah, there's giant robots in there too. So that's the problem with Gundam, is it's politics. It is endless politics. Oh my gosh. So the robots are cool and everything, but this show was not made, like, I cannot in good conscience say this show was made with kids in mind. Like, there's so many times where you watch a whole episode and it'd be like setting up like Game of Thrones type strategies and stuff like that. And I might be able to watch it now. I tried watching it not a little while ago. This was probably 10 years ago. I tried to watch it again. And I just kind of like dropped it and will maybe come back to it at some point. Oh my gosh. You got to see sword fights with giant robots like once in a while. And I want it to be cool, I really do, but it's gonna go into C, D, heads it's C, tails it's D. It's tails. I said D? Yeah, it goes in D then. Original Gundam. So this one still had the space politics, but there was a little more action. It was also just like, you know, I didn't like the design of the Gundam because it was a bunch of boxes, which I mean was the style at the time. But even then I was like, eh. So it gets to hang out with its brother. Alright, cool. Outlaw Star. This show was not for kids. Oh man, this is an amazing show too. Like, I would say show it to like a 12-year-old. It has the themes that are hard for a kid to grasp. So, like, okay, so the premise is Gene Starwin is a guy on a planet. His dad was an astronaut, but astronauts are like way more commonplace in here, so we've like colonized different planets and stuff like that. His dad died under mysterious means in a spaceship. Gene becomes a bounty hunter and steals a ship that is more powerful than anything else in the universe, called the Outlaw Star. The ship also comes with a woman. It's a bundle deal. The woman is a android of sorts, and she doesn't know anything about her past. He promises to help her find out about her past, and they have adventures with pretty good cast. There's a cast of 5 of them. I love every one of them. So the adult themes I was referring to earlier were sexual frustration, and there's a couple of scenes with drinking. It deals with anxiety in such a real way. Of Gene has to get over, like, you know, vehicle anxiety. He's afraid to fly, and that's something I can super relate to. If I was doing this just based on me now, this would be S tier. But I'm going to base it off of, dude, this was, I don't know how this got past the censors. And there's some episodes that are just kind of slow too. So, but they're slow in a character building way. Like, there's not really a wasted episode, but at the same time, it's not something a kid wants to watch. So whatevs. Powerpuff Girls. Oh my gosh, this show. So good. So good. If you don't know who the Powerpuff Girls are, you aren't actually... You're in a dystopian future. You're not actually watching this video when it was intended for you to watch it. Professor Utonium tried to make perfect little girls, sugar, spice, everything nice, but then he put in Chemical X. Now they got superpowers and beat up criminals and stuff. Funny. It's well paced. It's good. It's up there with Batman. I don't know anything about... Dude, I don't remember a whole lot of this. It was just super cool. You know, there were a lot of big bombastic fights, fire, water, stuff shooting around. If I had to describe it now, it's like a discount Saint Seiya or Knights of the Zodiac for my Americans. These guys are in a dystopian future with... oh, that's right. I think they were Ronin warriors. They were samurai warriors from the past, and they got transported to the future. And now they have superpower armor, and they have to defeat like the Lord of Darkness type deal. It was really good. This one definitely I can put in for kids. B tier. It wasn't groundbreaking, and I don't remember a whole lot of it right now. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in that B tier. The Adventures of Superman. And just Superman was not all that interesting to me as a kid. Now I have an appreciation for this show, and I can watch like an episode or two, because, like, you know, this kind of sets you up for the Justice League in a very good and solid way. Superman is once again, if you are watching this video and you don't know who Superman is, sorry we messed up the Earth. This is a really good series. I just did, as a kid, man, I had a real bias against Superman. But this is good Superman. This is really good Superman stuff. I wholeheartedly recommend this show. But as a kid, I was just like, man. I was like, I wish I was watching Batman. The Big O. I wanted my giant robot fights. Here are my giant robot fights. Oh my gosh. If you don't know what Big O is, it's Batman but Japanese with a giant robot. That's it. We follow Roger the Negotiator. He has the Big O, which allows him to deal with huge problems in the dome city of Paradigm. In this show, he does cool spy stuff. When he's outside the robot, he's got all kinds of Batman gadgets. This is who I base my personality off of, is Steve Blum's version of Roger Smith. As a kid, this is who I wanted to grow up to be. Toonami even knew that this was Batman but Japanese. So they gave taglines to stuff when they did cartoon bumpers. And so then when they did ads for them, they gave them taglines. The taglines for Batman and Big O were the same, of good guys wear black. And then for Batman Beyond, it was good guys still wear black, since it's in the future. Oh man, that was so cool. Toonami's so cool. But anyways, this show, it was 007, Batman, and Gundam, what I wanted Gundam to be. This is my first S tier. Zoids. So I watched an episode of it before this. Don't expect me to do that for like a whole lot of things. Like I might just do that every once in a while. But this was pretty much on quality of Beyblade, where it was like, we want to sell some toys. This was a toy seller. Battle competitions with giant robot animals. It's got not like super complex plots or anything. It's just something that you can hop in on any point. I think there is kind of an overarching story, but every episode has like a match in there, and it comes out really cool. Yeah, let's put it in B tier. Dragon Ball. So you saw me give Dragon Ball Z some really harsh, tough love. Dragon Ball is better than Dragon Ball Z. Goku is a monkey boy. He is adopted by his grandpa Gohan and is taught martial arts. He goes on adventures with his friends Bulma, Yamcha, and more, and on the quest for the Dragon Balls, and sometimes just to make friends. It's a comedy action series that pretty much has really good overarching stories with martial arts tournaments and twists and turns, and there's all kinds of villains waiting to try and trip up Goku, but don't worry, he's always gonna come out on top. It's better than Dragon Ball Z. There's no waiting to do stuff. Goku is either punching somebody or doing something funny at all times. It gets to sit in A tier. I feel really good about this tier list. Yeah. This one's pretty solid. There are some that I left out. Editing Drew is going to go ahead and stick LOL, who are you? There are 2 Gundam series that I didn't watch. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's a wrap. I'll see you in the next one. And keep looking up.